I'm going to make some pork ribs Rosticciana, which is an Italian style of making ribs, traditionally from the Tuscany region, where they will be grilled over a wood fire. But I think there are so many recipes for pork ribs, each one with its own nuances. But the way anyone likes their ribs is really a personal preference, and this recipe is mine. So however you like your ribs, in this episode I'm going to show you one way of making them in the wood-fired oven. Rosticciana style ribs can be simply seasoned with ingredients like rosemary and garlic, but I prefer to prepare mine with a dry rub, primarily made up of ground fennel seeds. I think this recipe produces very tender ribs, and the spice rub gives them a really wonderful flavor. So what I'm going to do first is go over how I make the dry rub, which can be made ahead of time to store if you want to do that. So to my beautiful Blanc Creatives skillet, I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of fennel seeds. One tablespoon of fenugreek, 1 tablespoon of dried orange peel, and 1 tablespoon of black peppercorns. Toast these all together in the oven until they're fragrant and release a strong aroma. And then let them cool down. To the toasted spices, I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of dried thyme and 1 teaspoon of salt, and then grind them all together into a powder. Then I'll add all of it to a fine sieve, ready to sprinkle over the ribs. Once I have my dry rub ready, I can move on to preparing my ribs. I have 2 racks of ribs that I'm going to trim and clean up. I purchased these from my local butcher, and they don't need a great deal of work. But if you want a much more detailed description of how to prepare ribs, I've linked to a couple of videos below. First thing I'm going to do is remove the silver skin or membrane from the underside next to the bones. Using a blunt knife, I'll peel up a bit of the skin and then use a paper towel to grip it and pull it clean away from the ribs. Removing the silver skin allows the dry rub to flavor that side of the ribs. I'll remove a few pieces of excess meat that might affect how evenly the ribs cook, saving those pieces to cook another time. Remove some of the excess fat. Then I'll square up the racks by removing the ends. I think it makes for a nicer presentation. And then cut each rack in half. You can skip this next step if you want to, but I'm going to soak the ribs in a simple ice-cold brine, made up of 1 tablespoon of salt to every liter of water. Pour in just enough to cover the ribs, and then add some ice cubes. I usually do this in the morning and then leave them for about 6 hours in the refrigerator, or you can leave them overnight. Apart from making the ribs a little more tender, I find it helps purge any excess blood that might seep out when they're cooking. Once they've been through that process, I'll pat them completely dry, then they're ready for the spice rub. I'll sprinkle the rub on both sides, making sure I also get the edges and the ends. Then cover them and let them marinate for around 4 hours in the refrigerator. To prepare my oven, I've placed the fire to the side. and the overall temperature across the floor is around 400 degrees Fahrenheit or 200 degrees centigrade. And I have a large enough fire to give myself a gentle flame roll over the dome. And I'm going to cook my ribs on my Tuscan grill, obviously, because it's what the Tuscan grill was made for. And I'm going to place the grill opposite the fire. And then I've built myself up a nice amount of embers that I'm going to place under the grill. So between the embers underneath the grill, the flame roll, and the radiant heat, the ribs shouldn't take any more than around 20, maybe 25 minutes. Once the grill is nice and hot, then I'll place on the ribs. Like I said before, they should take around 20 to 25 minutes. And during that time, I'm going to rotate the grill, and then about halfway through, I'll turn the racks over. But if you want to be sure that they're all cooked evenly, then you want to look for a temperature of the meat between the bones to be around 190 to 205 Fahrenheit or 88 to 96 degrees centigrade. So maybe by now you're thinking, hey Clive, if this recipe is from Tuscany, how come you're drinking a wine from Sicily? Well, normally I'm pretty meticulous in my planning of every detail of an episode, but in this case I got a little bit wrong and I chose the wine from not the right region, but the wines of Sicily are great, particularly around the Mount Etna region, so hopefully you'll forgive me this one minor detail. So I'm going to cover these and let them rest for around 10 minutes before serving.